Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a Christmas gift guide. I know I did promise you I was going to do my everyday makeup routine this week, but I felt compelled to do this video because I've been watching a few gift guides go around on YouTube, and I don't know, I think I didn't know if disappointed is the right word, and I don't even know how to sort of articulate how I felt about it, to be honest, but I just felt some of the gifts that have been sort of suggested are quite unrealistic for most people. Yes, I think there are people with money and there are people that can afford to spend £800 on bags for people, and that's fine, but generally I think the majority of people can't afford to spend that kind of money on gifts for people. And as much as people enjoy watching these gift guides as aspirational things, that's fine, but I also think that you can be made to feel quite bad about yourself if you can't afford those gifts, if you're not receiving gifts of that magnitude. You feel like there's something wrong with you, or there's something wrong with your Christmas, and that's just not the case. So I kind of want to put this gift guide out there to remind people sort of what Christmas is actually about, what giving is about. And you know, it's not about the price of a gift. I think it's about sort of, you know, giving something to somebody, let's say that, you know, you've really thought about, that really might be special to them. You might have put time into making it or thinking about it. So for example, for me this year, my situation's changed slightly, and I, you know, have less money than I would have had to give people Christmas gifts, and I started feeling really bad about myself, thinking, oh my gosh, you know, my gifts aren't worthy enough, my Christmas gifts I'm giving this year aren't very good, and that's really not the case. I've just had to spend more time to think about what I would like to give to somebody, whereas before in the past I would kind of just have splashed some money on it last minute. I also think that with Christmas, because you are buying multiple items for people, it's not feasible to kind of be suggesting, you know, bags of crazy prices, or, you know, giving somebody even an accessory that costs £300 or £200. I mean, fine, maybe some people can afford that, but the majority of people really can't. So I don't think it's really very helpful suggestions, to be honest. Also, asking somebody for a gift of that magnitude can also put them in a bad situation. It can put them in an awkward situation. One, because they might not be able to afford to give you that, or they might feel, if they've received a gift that's so expensive from you, they might feel awkward because they can't reciprocate that. And I know it's all fun and games and things, but I do feel sometimes that, you know, people can be very influenced by what they see. In fact, people are very influenced on what they see on YouTube. And I think, you know, I think it's just, I would just like to put this video out there and put my 2 cents out there, and kind of hope I can influence people in another way with this gift ideas video. A lot of my Christmases and the memories that I've made from my Christmases in the past have been mainly from that, making memories, spending time with people, having good food, you know, spending time with my family and my friends, and really catching up with people you don't see very often, and just relaxing and kind of looking forward to the new year. And I feel that sometimes we can be very swept away with just the material side of things, and yeah, just the fact that, you know, a lot of luxury guys are going about. I don't think that's really what the meaning of Christmas is. So I just kind of want to share this gift guide and kind of give you some ideas. It's more like a gift ideas video, I think, of some things that you can give that are just as meaningful but cost a lot less than a Gucci bag or a Gucci belt or makeup that costs £500. So I hope you find it helpful, and do let me know if there's anything that you would add to the video that I might have missed out, because I really like to know. And tell me your thoughts as well about, you know, some of these luxury guides and stuff that I've been floating about this year. Okay, so first off, one of my favourite gifts to give is a gift box. Now, what I normally do is get any box and just fill it with a few different bits and pieces, what most people would call stocking fillers. These are actual gifts that I would give, like, so when I see these videos that are like stocking filler videos and they're featuring gifts that I would give an actual gift, just like, okay. Basically it's just little bits and pieces that I think the person would like. So I have mocked this one up for you. It looks like this. I hate wrapping. It's like one of my least favourite things to do, but I did this specially for this video, so I hope you're impressed. Take off the bow. And this is a really nice gift because you're giving somebody, you know, multiple items really, but the actual contents of the box itself is actually quite affordable. Inside the box then, I can't really hold it up very high for you to see. I hope you can get the gist of what's inside. I'll show you what's inside it. It's just little bits and pieces. So for example, I've just mocked up a pair of gloves. So I got these gloves from Zara last year. I think they're still selling them now. I think they might be about 12 to 15 pounds. I'll link it down below. You could have something like a pair of gloves or some jewelry, for example, in here. Something quite helpful, I think, is something like a phone case. Most of us have phones, and I think phone cases are really helpful and they can be quite fun, so you can play around with those. So I've popped a phone case in there. And then perhaps you could have something like a nail varnish in here, or similarly I've just added in a lipstick, so some kind of little, makeup item. And then of course I pack in the person's favourite sweets. These are my favourite sweets, and I literally had to hold myself not to eat these before filming. I absolutely love Percy Pigs and Rosy Nosies. They're like my favourite sweets ever. So these will be devoured after I finish filming this, but pop some sweets in there, or some chocolate. Again, this is a tiny little hand cream. I think it cost me like £2 from Boots, £2 or £3. It's just a nice Sanctuary Spa hand cream, which always comes in really, really handy. I've also got a little eau de toilette from Zara. So they sell these for £3.99 at the till points. And I think these are so handy for a handbag because you don't want to be carrying really, really heavy bottles around. And what it is it's like this. So it's just a tiny little stick, and it's got a little roller ball on the top. So you just kind of pop it like that, and you can carry this anywhere really. But I think this is a really handy thing for a day-to-day. So I think that's a nice little gift. And then what else have I got in here? I've got a memory photo. So this, any photos that you can have of whoever you're giving this gift to, I think would also be a really, really nice idea, just so that they can frame it and they've got a memory of you. So this was when last Christmas at my parents' house, it was me and Nicholas there, and my mum gave this to me for my birthday. Finally, I've just popped in a book. So I've got a mindfulness book, which I really love reading, and I've got this from Urban Outfitters for £10. And that's just something really helpful as well. It could be a book, it could be a notepad. It doesn't have to be the things that I've included in here, but it's just ideas that you can put in this box. And I think generally the contents of it probably has come up to, I'd say, about £30, which I think is really, really good for a gift. I mean, it beats being £300. And depending on the contents that's in here, it can be less than that, it can be more than that, but I think a little gift box is a really nice idea, particularly if you haven't got so much money for your Christmas gifts this year. Filling it with a few little bits and bobs that aren't quite inexpensive is a nice way to feel like you're giving something a bit more substantial, but actually the contents of it hasn't broken the bank. So another gift idea that I love giving, as I showed you in the gift box, is photographs. So I like to give a photograph and photo frame. A photo frame from IKEA is probably like 99p to £2 or something. And then you can print out your photos so easily these days from like Instagram or Facebook. There's so many different companies that will do that for you. I'll insert a little clip here of a lovely photo frame that Nicholas got for, I think it was my birthday, or it might have been Christmas, I can't remember, but he got us this photo frame made of some real key photographs in our relationship, like memories. And I love looking at that wall and just thinking about the times that we spent together and what those times meant. And it's a really nice, relatively inexpensive gift. And it doesn't have to be the size of the one I've just shown you, but one photograph printed off from online and a photo frame is just a really nice gift. It's a nice memory gift, and you can kind of walk down memory lane when you give that gift and talk about that time in your life with that person. So I think it's a very nice everlasting gift. I think photos are great presents any time of year. Like, I love a photograph. Idea number 3, I think, is magazine subscriptions or newspaper subscriptions. So I love reading magazines, and I spend quite a lot of money on them, and a lot of magazines do have kind of like introductory offers for 3 months or 6 months and things like that. So it doesn't have to be the whole year subscription, it can just be the introductory offer, and then if the person likes it, they can carry it on themselves, but it's just a gift. And I think it's just a nice gift. It's something quite thoughtful, and it gives them something to look forward to every month as well. It's not something that just kind of ends when you give them the gift. It's something that's kind of recurring for however many months you've got the subscription for. So I think that's just a really nice idea. And kind of in a similar vein, I'd say vouchers. Like, I know people don't like giving gift vouchers sometimes, but I absolutely love them. And I think it doesn't, again, have to be the gift voucher for the whole amount of money for an item. So because I do like to spend money in more expensive stores like COS and things like that, I wouldn't expect people to be giving me a gift voucher for £80. If that's the average price of something in COS, I would be very happy with a £20, £10 voucher, whatever they can give, because that's still adding into me buying something, if that makes sense. It's kind of taking off the money for me paying for full price for an item. So I think that's still fantastic. And, it enables the person to be able to go and buy what it is that they would like, rather than having that kind of awkward exchange when you've got somebody something and it's kind of like, thanks, and you're not going to use it. And I think a meal vouchers are a really nice idea as well. So Nicholas and I received a meal voucher, I think last Christmas, and it was lovely. It was for Jamie's Italian. I think it was £50. It was great because we were able to go and have dinner and enjoy, together time, and in a nice restaurant, and maybe only add a little bit on for wine or something, but generally the most of the meal was paid for. And I think that was a really, really nice idea. So, meal vouchers are a great idea. Experience vouchers are a really nice idea as well. So, I think I've got my mum and dad, the London Eye and Thames boat cruise, and there's lots of offers and things like that online from companies doing this, for things like Groupon, and lots of places will give you offers on experience days and things like that. So that's quite a nice idea. And even things like iTunes vouchers. If somebody you know is constantly buying music and things like that, iTunes vouchers are really, really handy. Similarly, there's games vouchers as well. If you've got another half who really likes playing computer games, you can get them gaming vouchers and stuff. So there's lots and lots of things that you can do in terms of vouchers that don't necessarily need to be sort of clothing store vouchers. Another idea, which I think is a really nice one, is an IOU. So it's kind of like you can make IOU cards and things and give somebody an IOU in the sense of, I owe you a home cooked dinner, or I owe you cat sitting or dog sitting, or I owe you baking you a cake, or whatever it is. I think it's a really nice idea to, offer somebody your time to do something for them, and you could give them one IOU or you can give them 5 or whatever it is. But I think it's nice because you can then use your skills or your time to benefit somebody in the future, and I think that's quite a nice idea to do it free apart from your time, and it just shows like a nice willing spirit, I guess. So I think an IOU is a great idea. I would not be able to do that for baking and pretty much not for cooking, so I think it probably would be something like, I'll clean your house or something like that. And then I found that because as we're getting older, so my sister and I, we don't really need our parents to buy us a lot of things anymore, because we can kind of look after ourselves in that way. So I think what's a really nice idea is to think about the money that you all would be putting together as a family for gifts that maybe people don't need or don't really want, and put that money together for a nice family dinner or an outing. So I think that's what we're probably going to start doing next year, is just putting the money that we would have spent on each other into a kitty and going to book a nice dinner and making that memory that I was talking about before. I think, it's those times that you spend together that are really, really important. And I think it's a nice way to spend that Christmas gift money, spending time together. But I think other great Christmas gift ideas as well are items that you hate spending money on yourself. So things like underwear, socks, scarves, gloves, all those kind of things that you're just like, I really don't want to spend this on myself. You can get somebody something a little bit nicer. So they're the kind of gifts that I tend to love getting is things like a nice pair of gloves, because as you know, I just spend like £1 on my Primark gloves. So when I get a nice pair of gloves from somewhere, it's like, oh wow, this is really great, because I don't like to spend money on those kind of things. So think about the kind of person you're buying for, and if there's anything that they really don't like spending money on, like pairs of socks or something, then get them a nice pair of socks. You can definitely check out websites like M&S. So I love checking out there for really nice sort of lambswool socks for my dad, and they often have 20% vouchers and discount days, so you can get them on offers. Places like White Company for nice cashmere and things like that. Check out places for nice fabrics and things, whether it's wools and cashmeres, and get those things on discount, and you can give a really nice gift for a relatively inexpensive price. Personally, I think it's fine to ask for money for Christmas or give money for Christmas because, you know, it doesn't, again, have to be a massive sum, but every little bit helps, and you can put it towards then a gift for yourself that is a bit more expensive. So let's say you do want to have a £500 designer bag or a £1,000 designer bag and you're starting off your little fund. I think it's probably more tasteful just to receive money as a Christmas gift, which is fine, and then just put it towards that fund yourself, as opposed to kind of getting that gift as a Christmas gift. But no, I don't think there's a real problem in receiving money for Christmas. Like my sister and I, when we were younger, before we were working, always used to get a small gift from my parents and then some money just to help us along the way, mainly to spend in the Christmas sales. And then makeup and toiletries, I think, are really nice gifts as well. And it doesn't have to be sort of the full-on sizes of everything that you're buying. So obviously perfumes and things are very expensive, but you can get minis of perfumes and lipsticks and all sorts of things. And especially at Christmas time, they come in kind of like gift sets and things. So you can give somebody a taster of a perfume or a lipstick, but not have to go through that full expense of getting the full-on size. So an example I've got here are these really cute Marc Jacobs minis. So I'm not sure how much these were because these were a gift for me, but you know, if they were selling the minis on their own, you could easily just get one or two, and then maybe put it in the gift box or just accompany it with some chocolates or something, and you've saved a lot of money as opposed to buying the real big size of a perfume. Also getting a pack like this, for example, the person can kind of try them all out and figure out which one they like and then get the bigger size for themselves. So definitely check out mini versions of things, especially over Christmas. There's always lots and lots of that kind of thing, which makes really nice gifts but also just doesn't break the bank. So finally, just a couple of tips and tricks really. So personally for me, I like candles. I like the way they smell and I like burning them, but I don't really get spending hundreds and hundreds of pounds on a candle, because at the end of the day, you're just like, to me, you're just burning it. So I don't really get it. And I think you don't really need to either. So I found some really nice candles from TK Maxx that I got, and I've put these in our room and I'll show you them. They look like this. I'm going to try and balance these. This is going to be very difficult. The chamomile and also sandalwood, I think, is the purple one. And these, I think, were all, the totally came up to under £20. And I think they look nice. The packaging looks really nice. I think you don't need to spend £50 on a candle just for a brand name. I think you can get equally nice candles and things from a lot cheaper stores that look very nice. Packaging can make something look a lot more premium than it really was. And the way you kind of arrange them together, for example, so having the two with the brown craft paper and then the one purple one in the middle with the wooden top, they all kind of complement each other really well. They smell lovely together, they look really nice, and they cost me a fraction of the price of one branded candle. So I think sometimes you can get quite swept up in just, you know, kind of following the trends that are around, but you know, you can equally find great bargains in places like TK Maxx. You can get nice candles from a lot of homeware stores, so I would definitely say you don't need to spend lots to give somebody one branded candle when you can give them three at a much cheaper price. And if you do feel like you would like to try and spend a little bit more or give somebody something with a little bit of a brand name, so maybe like a higher end high street name, look for the smaller accessories in those stores. So things like card holders and passport covers, for example, and things like that might be at the lower spectrum of those stores. So I know that Whistles have got some really nice passport holders. I think around £40. I'll check that though. I'll double check that for you. I can't stress this enough. If there's any sort of discount days, you know, sign up to things like websites like vouchercodes.co.uk, sign up to each of the brands that you're checking out newsletters, because they'll always let you know when they have 20% days off, when they have voucher codes and things like that. So definitely sign up to those places, because you can then buy a slightly more premium item on a discount and get it for a much more acceptable price. But definitely look for things like key rings and tassels and card holders, as I said, passport cases, little items in the accessory section of these brands, as opposed to trying to get somebody, you know, a bag or a scarf or things like that, if it's just not affordable. Christmas is a time of, you know, giving with a good heart, spending some time with your friends and family and your loved ones, and just enjoying it and relaxing. And it's not a time of being stressed out because you can't afford to give people expensive gifts. At the same time, it's not a time of extorting others either. So I think, you know, if people are not happy with the gifts that you've bought them because you haven't spent money on them, then I don't think that's really the right attitude. And I think as long as you know that you spent the time and as much as you can on that gift and you've given it with a good heart and good intentions, that's really all that matters. You know, if this video has helped anybody, even one person, to feel not so bad about themselves for not being able to afford luxury Christmas gifts or to give luxury Christmas gifts, and has given them some sort of inspiration for some gifts, then, you know, I've done my bit. So I hope you do enjoy this video. Probably a little bit controversial, but it's come from a good place. It kind of just resonated with me, what's been going on recently with YouTube, and yeah, I hope I've helped you out with some Christmas gifts. So please do stay tuned for my next videos. There'll be my everyday makeup routine and a winter shoes and boots lookbook, so stay tuned for those, and I'll see you in my next videos. Bye.